Yeah, hello, good people. This is Josh Ang Empire YouTube channel. I like bringing you very interesting content, mostly places, structures, and like today I wanted to show you something interesting. That is a wheat flour mill production plant. That is a factory that produces flour from wheat, and most of you usually consume flour products, but you don't know the process that goes through before you get flour from wheat. So welcome. Today's channel I will be showing you from intake of wheat production until we get flour. So welcome my good people and enjoy. In wheat flour production we have different products of wheat flour. That is baking flour, multi-purpose flour, biscuit flour, and it all depends with the kind of wheat that you receive, because products like baking flour, then it means you need to have wheat that has a high content of protein. In wheat we call it gluten. Then in a multi-purpose wheat flour, then you will find in this case your protein doesn't need to be very high, and this means then you have to receive different types of wheat from different regions of the world, Russia, Ukraine, and this will determine which kind of wheat flour product you produce. Now my beautiful people, this is how the process of wheat flour production starts. This is where we receive the wheat using trucks. They come here, the paperwork is done, then the truck is weighed. This is a weighing scale. This is a weighing scale for weighing trucks. Then after the truck is weighed, it comes inside here. This is where the wheat is poured. It goes through these grills. Down there we have a conveyor. It's called a chain conveyor, where the wheat is taken for storage. Now this place, as you can see, it is covered. Maybe you're asking yourself, where is this place covered? Like a house. You can see it's like a house, and it has doors on both sides. We call them hatch doors. They are automatic. When the truck is inside here, the hatch doors are closed. This is just for dust control. We don't want to pollute the environment, so the dust must be contained inside here. Then we have a dust collector suction system. This one here. This will now suck the dust. This will now suck the dust that is produced when pouring wheat. Wheat has a lot of dust. Now the dust is collected, then it is contained inside the dust collector. Then we can separate dust from clean air. Then clean air will be allowed to go to the environment, and then dust will be collected later and disposed correctly. This is the button that operates this hatch door. This one, it's a hatch door. If you want it to go down, see, it's coming down. It's coming down. If you want it to go up, you press this. See, it's going up. That is how these doors are operated. Now, after wheat has been poured inside this grill. It is being collected. From here, I will take you through the process after collecting the wheat. The wheat is dirty. It has a lot of dirt inside. Nettles, twigs, ropes, everything. Now, from here where the wheat go. Let's go there. Let's go there and see. Next. This is what we call the silos. These are the storage tanks, big tanks. Big tanks, we call them silos. These are the collection points, the storage points where after collecting the meal collecting the wheat from here, it's now taken to silo. But before it goes to the silo, there are processes that the dirty wheat passes first. We call it first cleaning processes. The first cleaning, you see these towers, these kind of towers. Yeah. There's another tower there, although it's covered. That is where the wheat first goes, using the underground conveyors. After the wheat goes there, it is cleaned. We call it first cleaning. You know, the metals, twigs, ropes, and everything are removed. Let me take you there. You see the kind of process that goes there. We call it first cleaning of dirty wheat. And you must also know that most of the factory processes, they usually start from top coming down. It flows from top coming down. This is some of the cleaning machines that are used in cleaning dirty wheat. This one is called a PC pre-cleaning machine. The work of this machine is to remove twigs, to remove rope, rubble, all kinds of big waste or unwanted products in wheat. This is the work of this machine. All the twigs and everything, all kinds of stones, big stones, we remove from this place. After being removed, they will come through here. That is the stones and everything, and they will be collected down there. And clean wheat will go through here. You remember I told you most of the time every factory process starts from the top going down. The elevator will take wheat to the top. Then wheat will now start flowing, coming down. Going through the process of removing that from section to section. Like this one, we call it a magnet. This one, wheat comes from here into the magnet. The work of the magnet is to remove ferrous material. Any metal that is magnetic, it will remove it. It will start here. We have magnet inside here, so it will not go with wheat. After some time, the metal will be removed here, and the system continues. Now this is the magnet. My beautiful people, this is how the elevator looks on top. This is the drive motor. Okay, basically inside an elevator we just have a belt and a bucket which rotates. They scoop the product from below, and then when the bucket reaches on the top, it pours the product like this. This is how it pours, rotating like this. So it's just a kind of conveying system that uses a belt and a bucket to scoop the product. Now let's continue going up. We are going up, we are going up. Now we are on top of the tower. We are on top of the tower, my friends. Now, you remember the silos? These are the silos. Now we are on top of the silos. Now after cleaning processes, after cleaning of wheat is done, now the clean raw wheat is now picked again from the bottom, brought by this elevator to the top of the silos. Then it will be taken with this conveyor. This is a conveyor. You can see it's a conveyor. Goes goes all the way, but it runs on top of the silos. You can see that one. It is running on top of the silos. Under on top of each silo, under the conveyor like this, there is a gate. It is a gate. It's automated. It's automatic. It's operated remotely. There's a software that controls this. All this process is automated. After feeding the program or giving the software the command, it will do all this work for you. It will select the silos for you. It will know which gate to open at what time. Then each silo here has a code. It is numbered. So each silo will receive a different kind or type of wheat. Maybe from Russia, local wheat, from Ukraine, from the Americas. So every silo will be storing a different wheat. But how do you prevent the silo from mixing wheats from different regions? I've told you this thing is automated. So it will automatically open the gate. When selected, every gate has the code. It will automatically open the right gate on top of the silo. Then, while the conveyor is carrying the wheat will go automatically inside that silo. That's how these things work. Then, below the silos, we also have another system which I'll take you later. How to remove which product from which silo now going to the mill. This is just the receiving area. We call it intake. We call it wheat intake area. As you can see, this is on top of the silo. So this is where raw wheat is stored. This is where raw wheat is stored before going inside the mill for grinding, so that finally we can have the wheat flour product. Different types of wheat flour products, that is baking, all purpose, if you know, for biscuit, for different products. And you'll find that to achieve this, I've told you, we consider the amount of protein which is called gluten in wheat, and we also add, there are things we call them improvers and additives, like fortificant. Fortificant, it's a standard, it's a requirement. It's a requirement that all human and animal food products must have additives like fortificants. Fortificants are just nutrients. They are important nutrients that our bodies need them, like iron, vitamin. So the WHO and international organization usually determine which kind of fortificant or which kind of additives to be added where and at which amount. They know the benefits. So that is the standard. As we go, you will see how it all goes. So let me take you below or under the silo. Then you will see how the raw wheat is taken from the silos now to the mill. We are now back at the ground. People. Now you can see we are back at the ground. Now this is our silos at the ground. Now let's go underneath. Let's go underneath and see how we get wheat outside of the silos. This is how we go in. This is how we go in. This is how we go in. It's quite dark. It's quite dark. We are now going underground. We are now going below the silos. It's quite dark, but we'll try our best. We are now below under the silo. This is a concrete structure. It's a very strong concrete structure. How you can see this kind of tunnels. So on top of us here, this is a silo. We are under the silo. This is the inlet We are under the silos. This is a group of 3 silos. We are now under the silos with a lot of wheat on top of us. Now, as you can see, this is the gate I was telling you. It is automatic, it's automated. Below, this is the outlet of one of the silos. So when you want to get wheat from a given silo, as I've told you, it's automated. You just click, you give it the command, you give the system the command, depending on which kind of wheat you want, depending on which number of the silo is, you will just command the system. Then the system itself will open the exact gate. After opening the exact gate of the silo you want, wheat will come to this. You remember, this is a conveyor. This is a chain conveyor. Currently they are not running. The machine is under maintenance. So the conveyor will convey the wheat to this one. Now this one is the main conveyor. No, it's not even the main. This collects from this section of the silos. Then there is another section of the silo. Let me show you. This is also another series. You see this tunnel is another series. We are below, we are under the silos. This is another series of the silo. And this is the main conveyor that gets wheat out of the silo to the mill. We usually call it inclined chain conveyor. As you can see, it's not straight, it has a bend. Now, every time you remove wheat from a given silo, it will be brought by this conveyor to the main conveyor here. Now this is the main conveyor that carries the wheat from the silo or the intake department now to mill for milling processes. Now from here I will take you to the mill itself, then I will show you through the process. The wheat follows until you get the final product, which is wheat flour. You can see the conveyor is going. Now you can see the wheat from the silos comes in through this spout. We call this one spouts. To this one is an elevator. It's a very huge elevator. This elevator will take raw wheat to the top. I told you all the mill process starts from the top going down. So we'll go to the top. Now we are on top of the mill now, and cleaning of the wheat mill is very important. It's very important before any milling of the product starts. Now you can see on the floor, these are bins. They are like silos. They are just for storage. From top floor to the to basement, just to store wheat. So after first cleaning from intake, then wheat goes through the second cleaning in the mill to ensure now the very fine waste or very fine products that are not needed, very fine stones, very fine metals, very fine unwanted products are removed from this section. So you can see the same thing we saw outside on the silo. We have a conveyor, then we have several inlets. These inlets are going into the bins. They are like silos. They are just storage tanks. They are very big tanks. Now, in the second cleaning, the process is almost the same as the pre-cleaning in the silos. We also have sieves here. We have vibrators, and we also have magnets. But I want to show you the vibrators and the magnets and the sieves that are found inside. I mean, that you will see they are quite a different. There are quite some difference, but very minimal. This one are quite complex as compared to the cleaning process that you saw in the intake section. This is an elevator. Let us take an elevator. All these are cleaning machines, just purpose, but their purpose for cleaning, just cleaning wheat. We call this one an aspirator machine. This one is an aspirator machine. What it does, it uses air to remove dust, the dust that remain, husks, and light waste from the wheat. Yeah, it uses this fan. This is a fan. So very light products that are not needed will be sucked from above. Then fine wheat will go through the bottom side. It's dark, you can't see inside. You can't see there. This one we call it a scorer. See, this is a scorer. This one just work by mechanism. It's a mechanism that rubs wheats from each other. It makes the wheat rubs to each other. By rubbing, any sticky dirt is removed. Any broken wheat or husks are removed from that section. So this section, we call them aspirators and scorers. Just to score, and scoring, rubbing wheat to each other, against each other, to remove any sticking dirt. That's how it is removed. And we can go to the next section. Now, this is another section of cleaning. We call this an MTVA. Just work like a sifter, if you know sifter. Sifting, sifting is sieving. It shakes. When running, it shakes. It has a combination of several sieves inside it. So it will separate wheat from anything that is above the size of wheat or below the size of wheat. And then on top we have an aspirator. That one will suck any dust maybe that escaped the aspirators on top. It will be removed from here. So this we call it an MTVA. An MTVA. This one will be separate any product that is larger than the normal wheat that we want, or smaller than the normal wheat that by shaking, rotates by shaking, remove by shaking. Then here we have the magnet. You can see the wheat, the mill magnet now. This one will remove any metal, maybe bypass the pre-cleaning section. Any metal will be removed from there. And the process will continue until we have very clean wheat. Then, after the wheat reaches the bottom, it will then be taken up by elevator. These ones I told you they are called elevator. They'll bring the wheat back to the top. As I told you, always the process starts from the top. Now, the clean wheat will now be brought back to the top. We'll go back to the top, then I'll show you what happened. Now, from the bottom, now clean wheat will be brought back to the top by this elevator. And then it will be put to this conveyor. This conveyor will distribute this wheat to those storage tanks you see. On both of them there are gates. After being stored, now the operator of the mill in mill factories, wheat mill factory, they are called millers. They operate the mill. Now they know, let's say in this bin, they know it's Russian wheat. Maybe this one is local. The other one is Ukrainian, American. So depending on which kind of product they want to mill, they will know where to get which kind of wheat for that process. Now, after putting different kinds of wheat in these bins, at the bottom of the bins we have also outlets and conveyors. They will bring the wheat back to on top using the elevators as I've shown you. Elevators, these are elevators. Now after coming back on top, now the the milling process starts. We call this a turbolizer. A turbolizer or triorota. The people calls it triorota. Now, what it does, it is just an additional water system. It adds water to the wheat automatically according to the requirements of the miller. The purpose of adding water is just to soften the wheat. We just want to soften the wheat so that it should not be hard. Hard wheat, you'll use a lot of energy to grind them. Soft wheat, it will be easier. So after the wheat comes, now clean wheat, it will go here. Inside here we just have beaters, rotating beaters. After wheat entering, water will be added, it will be beaten, then it will come out. It will come out through this section here. It will come out through this to this conveyor. This conveyor will now put this wheat into different silos. Now this one we call them conditioning silos. This is where conditioned wheat is put for several hours, like 17 hours to soften. Now wheat from these conditioning silos or bins is now ready for milling. Now the process of milling will start, but remember, in any process we have things like this. We call them weighing scales. In every process, byproducts, clean wheat, conditioned wheat must be weighed so that the company can tell if they are making profit or they are making losses. So weighing scales are all over in milling factories. You will find weighing scales all over. So let me show you now the process of milling. Now, clean wheat from conditioning bins will come through these hoppers here. We call these ones hoppers. And then these are dead box. Dead box usually put on top of machine just to reduce the speed of products and control wear of machines because of friction from the fast moving product. So the purpose is just to reduce the speed of product to contain the wearing of machines. Now the wheat from conditioning bins will come here through these two spouts, then to this conveyor, then to this bin. We call it a surge bin. Now this is where you can see there's some wheat inside. This wheat is there for, it's ready to go to the mill. Now after weight is collected on the surge bin is always, it must maintain this position. It must be maintained this position depending on the capacity of the mill, so that we don't want at any time the mill lacks wheat because it has consumed all the wheat and there's no wheat in the surge bin. So this position must be maintained all the time. That's why you see there is a sensor here. This sensor ensures that it coordinates. Everything here is automated. It coordinates with different machines so that it ensures always the product is at its optimum position, so that at no time the mill will lack wheat for processing. Now the surge bin will hold like 40 to 50 tons a time at every junct, so that the mill has a constant flow or supply of meat when running. And from here, then we'll go at the bottom. I'll show you. The process just involves, like grinding. You know what we do? We grind the wheat. We grind the wheat. Then from there, we'll separate this, the coating, the outer coating of the wheat from the wheat itself. Then we have the white part. The white part is what we are interested in. That is the flour we want. Then the other side that is covering the brown part, we call it bran. So bran, the brown part plus the outer covering of the wheat, we call it the bran. That are the byproducts of milling process of wheat flour. Bran is the byproduct, but it's not a loss because it is used to make animal feeds. So it's a profit also. there are companies which have animal feeds on the site they can process, but there are others who sell it to animal feed plants. So there is no loss. There always no loss in milling companies. Now the company will remain with wheat flour to sell. So let me take you to the. Now there's quite a difference now in the milling section. In the milling section, it's a combination of products. Other products will start production from the top, and others will start production from the bottom, depending on the stage of production. That's why you see we have this kind of pipes here. These ones we call them blow lines or suction lines. Instead of using chain conveyors and elevators, we use pneumatic system of conveying. It's just pressurized air that pushes the product. It will push flour or bran into here, then flour and bran will be metered through here. This one we call it an airlock, or if you like you can call it a rotary valve. Just meters the amount of product that goes down. Now this is a cyclone. It usually separate now the product and air. Air will go, product will remain down. So let me take you to the grinding stage so that you can see. These are fans. These are very big fans, humongous, massive. They are the ones that produce the air that is running inside this pipe. We call it suction air. They are produced by these big fans you see here. They are able to carry a lot of tons of flour throughout the mill. Without those ones, mill production cannot continue, cannot produce. Or if you decide to use other means of conveying like chain conveyors and elevators, then it means your mill will be very big with a lot of noise and not cost effective. Maintenance will be very high, cost of running will be very high because of electricity consumption, constant repairs, noisy environment, dirty environment. That's why you see here we prefer using fans. We are now inside the elevator. Let's go to floor number 1. Now this is what we call roller stands. This is the grinding section now, my good people. Wheat from the top will come and collect here. This is like a storage, just a storage tank. Then we have what we call a load cell here. A load cell is just like a weighing scale. It controls the amount of flow that goes inside the roller stand, so that at no time we are overloading the roller or we are underloading the roller, because we need to have optimum operation. So simply inside the roller we have rolls. You can see them. The purpose of the roll is just to grind. There are 2 rollers. They press and break the wheat. Now you can see we have several rollers in stages. So the process goes in stages. Once we call this first breaks, the wheat will come, they will be broken, we'll get some flour, but we'll have not grinded the whole wheat. It will go up, then come to the second break. Then the process will repeat itself. We'll press again and remove more flour, and then the broken wheat will go again to the top, then come again, and the process will continue until we reduce the size of the wheat, where we say now we have removed all the flour from the wheat. We are now remaining with bran and the outer coating. So it will be going up, coming down to the next set of rollers, going up, coming down to the next set of rollers, going up. And in the process of going up, we have this. Remember I told you, you may ask me, you may be wondering how the flour comes from down going up. We now use what we call pneumatic conveyor system. These are the pipes you see here. Through suction, it sucks the products, takes it up, the product come to the next stage. It is being sucked until at the end of the rollers is where now we can say we have achieved the extraction of flour to this percent. Now we assume we now have enough flour, and the remaining is bran. Let me show you a picture. You can see like here inside, see, it's a flour but it's not very white. Same to the other one, you can see it is flour but not very white. This is, you can see it is brown, it's not very white. But as you continue going, let me show you. As you continue moving this side, as you continue moving here, you see the product that is here, it is more finer with less flour. It's more brown. Then it means at this point at least we have 60% extraction of flour from this product. But how do we get the final separation of flour and bran, so that we can say now here we have pure white flour and here it is bran? It is done by one machine. The machine is called a sifter. It's just a combination of sieves of different sizes. These sieves, what they do, they separate bran from flour. There are sieves that bran can pass and the flour can pass that bran cannot pass. So it means bran will remain on top but only flour will pass. Now the white flour will pass and the bran will remain behind. So bran will be collected from another outlet, and the clean flour will be collected from another. Let me take you to the sifter. You see what I mean. So this is the grinding section. This is where all the grinding of it is done until it is bran, a mixture of bran and the flour. Now these are the sifters. You can see there are inlets on top, outlets on top. They are just sieves. Sieves are inside here, arranged in different ways depending on the size of the pores. You know, the pores of the sieves. Now this is where now the final product will come. Here bran will be separated from flour by just shaking. They usually shake when they are running. Let me show you how the sieves look like. There's one here which has been opened. You can see these are the sieves. These are sieves. You can see here we have flour. So this sieve and these are the outlets of the sieves. So when the product comes in, it will go up here. Only flour will pass through and the bran will be collected on these sides, on these ends. That's how we separate flour from what we call bran. Many people thought that, if you talk to people, many people think that flour usually bleach. We don't bleach flour. We just grind until we make sure that they can be separated. That is, you can separate flour from bran just using sieves. Just sieves. It is where flour can pass and bran cannot pass. In that way you are able to separate. You can see these are samples from different sieves inside the sifter. You can see here it is not very brown. Separation is not 100%. As it comes until you achieve separation here. Here you have achieved separation of the bran. You see that if you look at this, it's completely bran. There is no flour here. This one is achieved through sieves, only sieves inside these machines. We call them sifters. They shake and they separate flour from bran. Then you achieve this very white flour, separated from bran, that the husks and the bran part. So this one will be used for animal feeds. This one now will be used for human consumption, depending on what kind. Same flour is produced like this, be it baking flour, all-purpose flour. The process is the same. What matters the type of wheat, I mean the amount of gluten or protein in wheat, and the additives that they add. Usually there are some additives they put to improve the quality of wheat, depending on what you want to use the wheat flour to do, and we call them improvers. Improvers will give you desirable qualities in the flour product, like stretching so that the flour doesn't break easily, puffing and not collapsing in case of breads. So those are the things they usually do. But the process of making flour, no bleaching, no what, it's just grinding and then sieving. Perfect grinding and then perfect sieving. You are able to achieve the kind of flour that you want. Then after achieving, then you can do your additives. Now, this is where additive is done. After the flour has been collected from the sifters, it will come to this conveyor. This is a conveyor, it's a chain conveyor. Then we have this, we call them dosers. They are metered, they are automated. They know the flow rate of flour, they know the amount of what to dose at what amount of flour. So every dosing unit has its function. There are those that dose fortificants, there are those that dose improvers, depending on which kind of flour you are producing. So yeah, so at the end and at every stage, flour is taken to the lab to ensure that their desirable qualities are being met. Even after producing, the final product is taken to lab to ensure that the fortificant and all the additives are put the required amount, not excess, not below, required. That's why you find that most of the latest milling plants are automated with very minimal human error and human interference, very minimal. So this is where the dosing is done. This is where the fortificant and additives will be added to flour automatically, automated. It's an automated system. After all that, then finished product is stored in these bins. We call them finished flour bins. They go up to the top floor. So they are very huge, humongous bins. And this is the outlet below here. Now from here, depending on the type, every bin has its code and they know which kind of flour is in which bin. From there it can now be transported to the packing section. Packing section is a section that is different from here. There the material is just packed in packets. So let me take you to the control system to see how the system operates. It's automated. Let me take you there. That is how the system is controlled. Software just That's all, my good people. Next time I'll take you to packing area. You will see how flour is now packed into packets, sacks and everything, and also how bran is packed into sacks and transported. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, share and subscribe.